Hi, I'm Rebecca Gunther with www.m5a1photography.com, and I'm going to talk to you about some night photography tips. When you're shooting night photography, whether it's landscape or portraiture, obviously you're going to want to keep in mind that it's night, it's dark out. If you're shooting portraiture, this is not as easy or maybe easier depending on how you handle it to correct. You could use strobes. You could use, your on-camera flash, or you could use a flashlight, or you could use even just a street light. The problem with when you're photographing people is that even when they're standing perfectly still, they're still moving a little bit, so it will be kind of blurry. Your camera will probably need to have a slower shutter speed, which means any movements you make is going to make the image blurry as well. Again, this effect can be used if you want to make it work for you. Just keep that in mind, but also keep in mind if you want a very sharp picture, that's probably not going to happen. When it comes to photographing landscape at night or the sky at night, it's a little bit easier because you can use a tripod and a long exposure on the camera, and that way the camera, there's no chance of it moving, and the only blur that might happen would be if the stars in the sky move or if there's a wind and whatever you're photographing happens to move. It will look different than a photograph taken during the day, but some very interesting effects can be obtained by doing this. For example, the moonlight doesn't surround everything the same that sunlight does, so it will give sort of a surreal look in the end. And those are some night photography tips.